The AK-15 and Scar H are both amazing weapons. In this video, I'll put them both through 5 tests and give you my opinions on the guns. First, let's talk about the AK-15. The AK-15 is an AR that has medium fire rate and damage. It does a base damage of 40 per hit and a fire rate of 640 BPM or bullets per minute. It has a reload of about 4 seconds, and its accuracy, light armor damage, vertical and horizontal recoil are identical to the Scar H. It's a great gun for starters, and it unlocks at rank 15. The Scar H is an AR that also, similar to the AK-15, has medium fire rate and damage. There are a few differences though, as the Scar H has 42 damage compared to the AK-15's 40, although the fire rate of the Scar H is 40 BPM less. The Scar H has a fire rate of 600 BPM compared to that of 640 with the AK-15. Besides those two main statistics, the only difference is really in the magazine, and this is because the Scar H has a maximum size of 30 rounds using the extended A mag, and the AK-15 can carry up to 45 rounds as it has a special extended B magazine. This in total allows for up to 115 more rounds compared to the Scar H, so you do get quite a bit more rounds and firepower out of the AK-15. With the general overview done, we can move on to the 5 tests. For test number 1, there is the general statistics test. So when you pull up the screen and you see AK-15, Scar H, think the bottom left, that little chart of statistics, that's what I'm going to be comparing. So the Scar H wins on damage, aim down time, and draw speed, whereas the AK-15 wins on fire rate, control, and reload, albeit the reload is only better by about 1/10 of a second. All other categories they tie on. Technically they each win 3 sections, but because the difference in reload is negligible, I'm going to say that the Scar H wins for this section because the 3 things it does better are basically more compared to the what's essentially 2 things the AK-15 does better. For test number 2, there's the ammo and reload test. The AK-15 comes with a base of 24 rounds compared to the 20 on the Scar H. That's a 4-round difference, and it's not terrible, but it is a substantial difference. The trend continues when you add the extended A magazines, and it actually increases the curve, as the AK-15 goes from 24 up to 40 rounds, and the Scar H goes from 20 to 30. Furthermore, the AK-15 also has an extended B magazine variant, which is not normal, but it's cool, and it allows you to have another 5 rounds, so you have 45 rounds compared to the 30 on the Scar H. This puts the max amount of bullets with the AK-15 up to 315, and the Scar H with a comparatively low 210. So you can get a lot more consistent gunfire downrange with the AK-15, and this is even more so with a slightly faster fire rate. For the quick A magazines, it drops both of the reloads down to about 3.3 seconds. The big difference though is that it negatively impacts the vertical and horizontal recoil of the Scar H, but it does not do this on the AK-15. This means that using the AK-15 versus the standard magazine is a no-brainer on the AK-15. Overall, I think it's obvious which gun won this section. The AK-15 wins, so right now it's 1-1. For test number 3, we have the time to kill and DPS test. This will be a good indicator of how well a gun will do in a 1v1, although other indicators such as aim down time and draw speed do affect this as well. The AK-15 has 40 base damage with a fire rate of 640 bullets per minute, and this is about 10.7 bullets a second. Multiply this by its damage of 40, and we get an average DPS while firing of 428. The Scar H does a little more, of 42 damage, with a fire rate of 600 bullets per minute. This is 10 bullets per second multiplied by its damage of 42, which gives us an average DPS while firing of 420. While it's not a big difference, the AK-15 does beat the Scar H on DPS. This also gives it a slight advantage on its time to kill, which, assuming no armor and all torso or body shots, it gives the AK-15 time to kill of 0.234 seconds, and the Scar H of 0.238 seconds. The difference is not important, but it's a difference nonetheless. So once again, the AK-15 comes on top. Now it is 1-2. For test number 4, we have the crowd control test. This indicates how well a gun can deal with a swarm of enemies. The AK-15 has sustained gunfire of 2.25 seconds per magazine, and the Scar H has sustained gunfire of 2 seconds per magazine. This difference comes out to about an extra 1.75 seconds across all 7 magazines in favor of the AK-15. It's not a huge difference, but it is still a difference. When using the best extended versions of each magazine, the extended B for AK-15 and extended A for Scar H, the AK-15 has sustained gunfire of 4.22 seconds per magazine, compared to the 3 seconds on the Scar H. And now this is a gap that's meaningful. It comes out to about 8.5 seconds across all 7 magazines. Once again, the AK-15 wins. Now we're up to 3-1. I think you're starting to see the trend here. Next, we have test number 5. This is the user friendliness of each gun. Both guns have moderate recoil and work very well, but the AK15 is unlocked at rank 15 compared to rank 50 for the Scar H. This is a huge difference, especially when you're a beginner and you want to get the best gun you can get your hands on. You'll have a nice selection of attachments to choose from by the time you get to rank 50, meaning that your AK15 can become even better than the base Scar H. I think it's safe to say that you should use the AK15 and get all the attachments for it by the time you get to rank 50. If you want to switch to the Scar H, you can, but I don't think that makes too much sense. I did it, and I'm starting to realize I should have stayed with the AK15 and gotten all the attachments for it. So, once again, AK15 wins, 4-1. Personally, I play the Scar H way more than the AK15, and I'm not sure why I decided to do that, but I think I just assumed higher rank equals better gun, which is not really the case. I'd say in almost all these tests, except for the first one, the AK15 beats the Scar H and is just the better choice, especially because you get it at rank 15, which is crazy for a gun like this. So I hope you guys learned something new. If you want to see another comparison or a specific video, just tell me in the comments, and I'll see you next time.